Hello everyone.
Indeed. Hello. Today, we are going to talk about some prerequisite concepts needed to understand a scientific paper. These concepts are related to college major choices, STEM majors, latent math ability, non-cognitive skills, and gender differences.
Let's start with college major choices. When students enter college, they have to decide what area of study they want to specialize in. This decision is known as choosing a college major. It is an important decision because it determines the subjects they will focus on during their studies and their future career opportunities.
That's right, Alfred. And one popular type of college major is STEM majors. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Students who choose a STEM major are interested in these fields and want to pursue careers in areas like computer science, engineering, or biology.
Another crucial concept to understand is latent math ability. Latent math ability refers to someone's unexpressed or hidden mathematical potential. It means that even if a person has not yet developed their math skills, they might have the ability to excel in math with the right support and opportunities.
Absolutely, Alfred. Now, let's talk about non-cognitive skills. Non-cognitive skills are personal qualities and characteristics that are not directly related to academic abilities. They include things like perseverance, self-confidence, and teamwork. Non-cognitive skills are important for success in college and the workforce, regardless of the chosen major.
Lastly, let's discuss gender differences. Gender differences refer to the variations in behaviors, interests, and preferences between males and females. In the context of college major choices, it means that there might be differences between the subjects and careers that males and females tend to choose based on their preferences or societal influences.
That's correct, Alfred. Understanding these prerequisite concepts is crucial when reading scientific papers that explore topics related to college major choices, STEM majors, latent math ability, non-cognitive skills, and gender differences. Having a solid grasp of these concepts will help you comprehend the findings and implications of the research.
That wraps up our explanation of these prerequisite concepts. We hope this has provided you with a clearer understanding. Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Hello everyone.
Indeed, hello.
Today, we are going to talk about an interesting scientific paper that explores the relationship between skills and gender differences in STEM majors.
Yes. The paper uses longitudinal data to understand how skills and self-beliefs impact a student's decision to study STEM subjects and their subsequent graduation outcomes.
That's right. The author of the paper, Fernando Saltiel, focuses on the importance of math ability and self-belief, specifically math self-efficacy, in shaping students' decisions to study STEM subjects.
Math self-efficacy refers to a student's perception of their capacity to succeed in math-related problems and courses. It's an important factor because students with higher math self-efficacy are more likely to pursue challenging math courses, exert greater effort, and persist in solving difficult math problems.
Absolutely. The paper finds that high-ability women in math have lower math self-efficacy compared to men. This lack of self-efficacy drives women to drop out from STEM majors.
That's an interesting finding. It shows that math self-efficacy plays a crucial role in determining whether women choose to study and graduate from STEM majors.
Right. The paper also shows that both math ability and self-efficacy are strong predictors of STEM enrollment for both men and women. And it finds that women with higher math ability have a lower likelihood of STEM enrollment due to their lower math self-efficacy.
So, even if women have the skills and ability to succeed in STEM, Their decision to enroll in STEM majors is affected by their self-belief in math. This finding highlights the importance of addressing math self-efficacy in promoting women's participation in STEM.
Absolutely. The paper suggests that interventions aimed at boosting women's math self-efficacy could improve their STEM graduation rates and labor market outcomes.
It's interesting to see how different factors, such as math ability and self-efficacy, interact to shape women's choices in STEM majors.
Definitely. The paper also explores the returns to STEM enrollment for high-ability women. It finds that the returns vary depending on the alternative majors under consideration.
That's right. The paper shows that high-ability women would greatly benefit from enrolling in STEM majors compared to other majors. It also estimates gender-specific returns to completing a STEM degree.
The findings suggest that completing a STEM degree has positive returns for all women compared to switching to other majors or dropping out from college.
In conclusion, this paper highlights the importance of math self-efficacy in shaping women's participation and success in STEM majors. It suggests that by addressing math self-efficacy through interventions, we can improve women's STEM enrollment, graduation rates, and labor market outcomes.
That's a great summary, Alice. Understanding and addressing these factors is crucial for reducing gender gaps and promoting diversity in STEM fields.
Absolutely, Alfred. It's an important step towards creating a more inclusive and equitable STEM workforce.
Well said, Alice. Thank you all for watching, and we hope you found this summary insightful.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Have a great day. Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about a scientific paper that explores the factors influencing college major choices and the relationship between major choice and labor market outcomes.
That's right. In this paper, the author uses a mathematical model to understand how students decide on their college major and how it affects their future earnings.
Exactly. The author uses data from a large survey of college students and includes information on their background characteristics, test scores, and non-cognitive skills.
Non-cognitive skills are abilities like self-confidence, motivation, and perseverance, which are important for success in college and beyond.
Right. The author looks at different measures of non-cognitive skills, such as math self-efficacy, which is how confident students feel about their math abilities.
The findings show that men tend to have higher math self-efficacy compared to women, even when their math test scores are similar.
That's interesting. It seems that self-confidence in math plays a role in major choices. And speaking of major choices, the author found that men are more likely to choose majors in STEM fields, like science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yes, that's correct. The data showed that only 4.6% of women start in STEM majors, compared to 18.6% of men. And both men and women who choose STEM majors tend to come from higher educated households.
It's important to note that there are differences in math test scores and math self-efficacy between students in STEM majors and those in other majors.
That's true. Students in STEM majors generally have higher math test scores and math self-efficacy compared to students in other majors.
However, even among students with similar math abilities, there are still gender differences in STEM enrollment. And interestingly, a larger proportion of women complete their initial major compared to men. But this pattern is reversed in math-intensive STEM fields.
Right. It seems that women who start in STEM majors are less likely to complete their majors compared to men. This suggests that there may be additional factors influencing women's persistence in STEM fields.
Absolutely. The paper also examines the relationship between college major and labor market outcomes, such as wages. It found that students in STEM majors tend to earn higher wages compared to their peers in other majors.
But it's important to note that these differences in wages do not fully capture the returns to major choices. The authors use a statistical model to estimate the returns to majors while accounting for students' background characteristics and their baseline skills.
So, the model allows us to understand the impact of major choices on wages while controlling for other factors. This gives us a more accurate picture of the relationship between major choice and future earnings.
That's correct. And by understanding these factors, policymakers can better support students in their educational and career pathways.
Absolutely. By addressing gender disparities in major choices and supporting students' skills and confidence in math, we can help create more opportunities for women in STEM fields.
And that's important for both individuals and society as a whole. So, let's continue to explore these issues and work towards a more inclusive and equitable education system.
I couldn't agree more. Let's keep striving for a brighter future. Thank you for joining us today. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you, and have a great day.
Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about a section from a scientific paper that discusses the importance of different skills in predicting college major choices. Specifically, we'll focus on the relationship between math ability and self-efficacy and how they influence STEM participation.
That's right, Alice. Let's start by understanding the measurement system used in this research. The researchers collected data on English self-efficacy and reading test scores. But since they only had one measure for each skill, they couldn't recover a latent factor representing these skills.
That's interesting, Alfred. So, they used a triangular measurement system instead. The first set of measures depends on one factor. The second set depends on the first factor plus an additional one. And so on.
Exactly. And in this case, the researchers assumed that the latent factors in the skill dimensions are correlated. They did this by restricting one of the loadings for the first factor, allowing for the correlation between the factors.
So, the researchers also considered gender differences in latent abilities. They wanted to know if the factors they recovered through the measurement system capture the same underlying traits for males and females.
That's correct, Alice. They referred to this assumption as configural invariance. It means that each factor should be associated with the same observed measures across genders. This allowed them to compare the factors between males and females.
But they needed additional assumptions to identify gender differences in latent abilities. They looked at the self-efficacy measures and assumed that the test score intercepts were equivalent for both genders.
Yes, Alice. This is called scalar invariance. It means that there are no consistent cross-group differences in how each group performs on the observed measures. By making these assumptions, they were able to identify gender differences in latent abilities.
So, what did the researchers find when they applied this measurement system to the data?
They found that observable characteristics explain a small portion of the variance in the skill measures. The majority of the variance is explained by the latent abilities. For example, students' latent math ability explained between 52% and 73% of the variance in their math test scores.
That's impressive, Alfred. They also found that women had lower math self-efficacy compared to men. And this difference played a significant role in their college major choices, especially in STEM fields.
Absolutely, Alice. The researchers showed that women with high math ability and self-efficacy were more likely to choose a STEM major. But the gender gap was still significant. as men with similar abilities were more likely to choose STEM majors.
They also found that math ability and self-efficacy strongly influenced the likelihood of completing a STEM major for women. Increasing these skills could improve their chances of successfully completing a STEM degree.
That's correct, Alice. It shows the importance of building self-efficacy in math for women, as it can have a significant impact on their STEM participation and success.
This research provides valuable insights into the factors that influence college major choices and STEM participation. Understanding the role of skills like math ability and self-efficacy can help policymakers and educators design interventions to encourage more women to pursue STEM fields.
Absolutely, Alice. By addressing the gender gap in self-efficacy and providing support and encouragement, we can create a more inclusive and diverse STEM workforce.
Thank you, Alfred, for explaining this research. It's crucial to understand the factors that affect college major choices and how we can create a more equitable STEM landscape.
You're welcome, Alice. It's always exciting to learn about research that can make a positive impact on society.
Hello everyone.
Indeed. Hello. Today we are going to talk about a scientific paper that explores the relationship between math ability, self-efficacy, and the completion of STEM degrees by men and women.
That's right. The authors found some interesting patterns in their research. Let's start by explaining what they discovered for women.
Sure. The paper shows that for women, having high math ability and self-efficacy is associated with a higher likelihood of completing a STEM degree. In fact, 78.5% of women in the top joint decile of math ability and self-efficacy graduate with a STEM degree.
That's impressive. However, the share of women who graduate with a STEM degree drops to below 54% for those in the top math ability decile but in the bottom self-efficacy distribution.
Exactly. It seems that self-efficacy plays a critical role in women's decision to stay in STEM. This margin has not received much attention before, so it's an important finding.
It certainly is. Now let's move on to men. The paper shows that self-efficacy plays a smaller role for them in driving STEM degree completion.
That's correct. While 56% of men in the middle self-efficacy decile complete a STEM degree, this share only slightly rises to 67.7% for those in the top self-efficacy decile.
So, for men, it seems that math ability is more important than self-efficacy in determining whether they complete a STEM degree.
Exactly. And when it comes to men in the top decile of the math ability distribution, self-efficacy plays a limited role in their likelihood of successfully completing a STEM degree.
That's interesting. It shows that different margins of ability have different impacts on men and women's progress through majors in college.
Absolutely. And it's important to consider these differences when thinking about ways to support students in their pursuit of STEM degrees.
Agreed. Now let's talk about the returns to completing different majors. The paper shows that the returns to STEM majors are generally positive for both men and women. But the magnitude of these returns varies depending on the major they are compared against.
That's correct. For women, the returns to STEM enrollment are large and significant relative to majors in the life sciences, business, health, and other fields. It's interesting to note that the returns are higher for women with high math ability.
Yes, that suggests that high-skilled women could benefit the most from pursuing STEM majors. On the other hand, men also enjoy positive returns from completing STEM degrees, but the returns are generally higher for them compared to women.
That's true. And when it comes to women who enrolled in majors other than STEM, the returns to switching to a STEM major are positive for those in the top math ability decile.
So, it seems that interventions that encourage high-skilled women to pursue STEM degrees could have a significant impact on their early career wages.
Absolutely. The paper also explores the returns to completing a STEM degree compared to switching to a different major or dropping out of college altogether. The returns are large and significant for both men and women, indicating that completing a STEM degree is beneficial in terms of wage outcomes.
That's really important information for students who are considering majoring in STEM. It shows that completing a STEM degree can lead to positive wage outcomes, especially for high-ability students.
Yes, it highlights the importance of STEM promoting policies and interventions that support students in their pursuit of STEM degrees.
Definitely. So, in summary, this paper provides valuable insights into the relationship between math ability, self-efficacy, and STEM degree completion for men and women.
That's right. It emphasizes the role of self-efficacy in women's decision to stay in STEM and highlights the positive returns to completing STEM degrees for both men and women.
Thank you, Alfred. I think we've covered the main points of the paper.
Hello everyone. Today, we will be discussing an interesting scientific paper that explores the relationship between multidimensional skills and women's participation in STEM majors.
That's right, Alfred. The paper highlights the importance of skills beyond just test scores and preferences in understanding women's choices when it comes to STEM fields.
Exactly. They found that there is a relative shortfall of high-skilled women who are confident in their math abilities. And this finding has significant implications for women's participation in STEM.
Absolutely. Students not only sort into STEM majors based on their math ability but also their self-efficacy in that subject. Self-efficacy is the belief in one's ability to succeed in specific situations. In this case, math.
Yes. And it's interesting to note that self-efficacy has a sizable impact on explaining why women drop out of math-intensive fields, while this pattern is less pronounced for men.
So, the paper suggests that one way to increase women's participation in STEM majors is to improve their math self-efficacy. By boosting their confidence in their math abilities, we can expect more women to choose and complete STEM degrees.
That's right, Alice. And the paper includes an interesting simulation of a self-efficacy intervention. They found that for women in the top math ability decile, such an intervention could increase their graduation rates by up to 9.1%.
That's a significant improvement. And the impact of the intervention is not just limited to graduation rates. It also has implications for labor market outcomes. Higher math self-efficacy can lead to improved performance in math-intensive jobs and higher wages.
Exactly. The simulated intervention showed that it could boost average hourly wages for women by 1.2%. This indicates that improving women's self-efficacy in mathematics can have positive effects on their early career outcomes.
So, to sum it up, this paper highlights the importance of self-efficacy in women's participation in STEM fields. By improving women's math self-efficacy, we can expect to see an increase in their enrollment and completion rates in STEM majors, as well as better labor market outcomes.
That's a great summary, Alice. It's clear that targeted skill development policies aimed at improving women's math self-efficacy can make a significant difference in closing the gender gap in STEM.
Absolutely, Alfred. This research provides valuable insights and lays the foundation for further exploration into interventions that can sustainably improve women's math self-efficacy.
Well said, Alice. Thank you for joining me in discussing this fascinating paper on multidimensional skills and STEM participation. Hello everyone.
Indeed. Hello. Today, we'd like to talk to you about a fascinating topic: the economic returns of post-secondary degrees.
Have you ever wondered if getting a college degree is really worth it? Well, several researchers have conducted studies to investigate this question.
That's right, Alfred. One study by Rodriguez, Urzúa, and Reyes in 2016 examined the economic returns of post-secondary degrees in Chile. They found that there are heterogeneous returns, meaning that the financial benefits vary depending on the type of degree pursued.
Another interesting study by Roy in 1951 focused on the distribution of earnings. He explored the factors that contribute to different levels of income and found that education plays a significant role.
Absolutely, Alfred. And building on that, Rumberger and Thomas in 1993 conducted a study that looked at the economic returns of college majors. They found that the type and quality of the major chosen can impact future earnings.
Right, Alice. And speaking of majors, let's not forget the study by Steinbrickner and Steinbrickner in 2014. They found that initial beliefs about college majors can influence whether students persist or drop out. So, having the right information and guidance is crucial in making informed decisions.
That's a great point, Alfred. And it's not just about majors. In 2018, she studied the underrepresentation of female engineers. She discovered that academic preparation, ability beliefs, and personal preferences all play a role in women pursuing or not pursuing engineering careers.
Absolutely, Alice. And let's not forget the role of non-cognitive skills. Saltiel in 2020 highlighted the importance of non-cognitive skills, such as grit and perseverance, in academic success and career choices.
Very true, Alfred. Now, I also want to mention a study by Weber in 2014, which focused on the lifetime earnings of different majors. He took into account cognitive and non-cognitive factors and found that the choice of major can have a significant impact on future earnings.
That's fascinating, Alice. And I'd like to add another aspect to consider: gender. Turner and Bowen in 1999 explored the changing gender gap in choice of major. They found that although progress has been made, there are still differences in the majors chosen by men and women.
Absolutely, Alfred. And Wiswall and Zafar conducted multiple studies. In 2015, they looked at the determinants of college major choice and found that information and personal experiences can influence decision-making. Then in 2018, they explored gender differences in workplace preferences and the investment in human capital.
And finally, Zafar in 2013 examined the gender gap in college major choices. This study delved into the factors that contribute to the different decisions made by men and women when it comes to selecting their major.
So there you have it, a glimpse into the world of research on the economic returns of post-secondary degrees. These studies show us that there are various factors at play, such as the type of degree chosen, the quality of the major, personal beliefs, and even gender.
That's right, Alice. So if you're considering pursuing a post-secondary degree, it's important to explore all these factors and make an informed decision that aligns with your interests, skills, and career goals.
Absolutely, Alfred. Remember, education is not just about acquiring knowledge, but it can also have a significant impact on your future earnings and opportunities.
Thank you for joining us today. And we hope this discussion shed some light on the fascinating world of post-secondary degrees and their economic returns.
Indeed. Have a great day, everyone.